Oh, where'd you go?
I'm here. Oh, you can't see me?
There, okay, there you go. I'm about to say you didn't talk about me. You disappeared.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What's up, y'all? Hey, man, it's Trayvon Copeland, man. Respect my name. I told y'all, bro, we are not playing this year. I really mean it. I'm not business, bro. 2022. We have a good friend of mine. I'm lying to you. I just met him yesterday. His name is Alan Harrington. This man is out here in Columbus, Ohio. He has a wonderful comic shop by the name of Crazy. Yeah. Oh yes, Crazy Comics. Alan here. What's up, brother? How you doing? How you doing today? How we
What's
living?
going
How
on,
we
man?
living in Ohio? How we living in Ohio, man?
Man, I'm doing good. You know, enjoying the weather out here.
Yeah, yeah. It snows in Ohio. Does it snow like New York?
It does everything in Ohio. Like we got a saying, like if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes.
What? Really?
Man, it could rain, it could snow, it could be hot, all in the same day.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, Ohio's weird. That's that Midwest weather.
Uh-uh. Well, at least I don't have like tornadoes and sandstorms and stuff like that.
We don't really get them. I mean, we get tornado warnings and stuff, but we don't really get tornadoes too much. Like if you, that's from the outskirts of Ohio.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in the heart.
Yeah, like people in Oklahoma got to deal with tornadoes and
Oh
maybe
yeah.
Texas and it's all
Mm-hmm.
Midwest. Yeah, no. I can have that. I don't need to be in Twister. In that movie, remember that tornado movie Twister? Like, and I don't know why people, bro, why people like that for real? It's just big ass tornado. It's just never, oh, I'm going to quit it. Like, no, I'm going to stay right here. You go over there. Yeah, you
Hey,
go over there
I
with
just remember
Terry.
the cow. I always remember the cow from Twister. That cow.
Because you don't know the cow survived in life. And that's the most that's the point about like these people, you what the hell this disaster, you're supposed to die. Not cow, not my cow. Jeez. Mulan. Okay, here we go. So Alan,
Mhm.
buddy. Hey, why you are? Where you from, man?
I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay. He's from Columbus, Ohio. He's from Columbus, Ohio.
From Columbus, Ohio.
Okay, cool. From Columbus, Ohio. Right. Check that out. Columbus, Ohio. Right. What age were you when you got into comics, man?
Probably about 11. Like 11's when I like hardcore got into comics.
Mm. That's what's up. Like, what was some of the first comics you read, man?
I always remember the first book I ever had, the book that got me kind of into comics. It was a Marvel Comics Presents book. I got it from, I don't know if you guys have Dare, if you've ever done Dare before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a Dare officer who gave out comics, and he gave me this book. It was like an anti-smoking comic or something. And that was my first comic. That was my introduction to comics. And they had like Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Storm in it. So like that, yeah. And that's kind of what started everything was that book.
Okay, that's what's up. What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember. I think my first legit comic that I actually got to read when I was in middle school, and they had the graphic novels, and I had read. I had read like a Batman. No. I had read a Spider-Man history where he switched bodies with Wolverine.
Okay. What book is that? I know what you're talking about. Yeah. It's funny because like Spider-Man's a lot of people's entry book. Like a lot of people, their first comic had Spider-Man in it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People like, oh, yeah. Spider-Man.
Good old Peter Parker, right?
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And I think it was like a Justice League book too, where they got their ass kicked. they got their ass beat. Everybody, whole Justice League they got their ass beat, and they died, and then somehow, some way, they all came back to life, and then they beat. Like, you know, I'm like, okay, clearly, plot. Even Batman got killed them.
Hey, Justice League's been beaten up a few times. Like they be getting them hands put on them.
Yeah, ain't shit. I remember one issue was Slade or Deathstroke. Sorry, Deathstroke.
Mm-hmm.
He was like 70% of his brain. He's like 70 or 80% of his brain. He kicked the whole Justice League ass. I remember that.
Yeah, they be getting beat up like right and left.
It sucked. I wouldn't trust Batman. And then, man, if I was the Justice League, I'd take Batman and throw him out of space. This thing was throw him right out of space. You know, he created a tendency. Okay. He created a method to beat every Justice League.
Yeah, he got a contingency for everybody. Yeah, he can beat anybody in the Justice League. He's got a plan.
Well, he thinks he can beat everybody in Justice League. How you gonna beat
there's a book where he does it. There's a book where he actually uses that plan, and no, he doesn't use it. Somebody steals it and uses that plan to beat the Justice League, and it beats everybody, even Flash.
Idiot.
Yeah, Batman. Batman, he got a kryptonite bullet for Superman. Like, he got something for everybody.
Oh, everybody. Okay, because I think it's Advent Crisis or something like that. I just remember Alfred beat up Superman. You know, I don't know if he had on these kryptonite gloves or something like that.
He
beat the brakes off. I was like, see, y'all cheat me with this.
What's funny is he's got a contingency for everybody, even himself. Like, there's a plan if he goes evil. And that's Superman.
Evil. You ever seen when they went to the scene? When they went to the senior citizen to go see Mermaid Man. Like, Mermaid Man got PTSD, so it's not something like that for real. And you can't say certain things around him. And so if you say evil, you need traumatized.
Hey, I always say, like, comics are weird. Like, they're fun. I enjoy them, but they get weird sometimes.
I don't care. I'm still supporting them. Okay. So, let me see here. How old are you, bro?
38.
38.
Just turned 38 in July. Yeah.
Okay. When's your birthday, man?
Say that again.
You're July baby. Me too, man. When's your birthday?
Oh, the first.
It's July 3rd, man.
Oh man, right around the corner. Hey, most of my family is most of my family's July babies. Like, we all through July.
Cancer babies, man. Cancer life, bro. I understand. I know you're paying.
Hey.
All right. What's my next question? What's some of the black comic book characters that you first got introduced to? That you took a liking to?
So, like I said, that first book I had, it had Luke Cage and Storm in it. Like, and those were like the first black superheroes I ever saw. And I'm a huge X-Men fan, partially based off of that. But I mean, there's a list. Like, you can see Storm, Luke Cage, Black Panther, Blue Marvel. Like, there's a ton. Riri Williams right now in comics. Like, she's gonna have a show coming out pretty soon. Ironheart. Nah, Riri's dope. I hate to break it to you, Riri is dope. Riri is dope. Riri is dope. If you want to flip over like DC, like, I'm a huge fan of Steel, John Henry Irons. Like, that's a great character. So I mean, like, there's a ton of black characters I could say that are just like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But Storm and Luke Cage, those are my first two.
Listen. We like Luke Cage. We like Steel, but we don't support that Shaq movie.
Oh no, we don't talk about that. I don't even know what you're talking about. What Shaq movie? Kazam? You talking about Kazam? I don't know what you're talking about.
Clearly Shazam. Clearly talking about Shazam.
Hey, I was a kid when that came out. You know how hurt I was? Because I was already reading the Steel comics. Like, well, my favorite Superman storylines got Steel in it. And I was excited to see he was getting a movie, and then I saw that movie and was like, why? Why did we do this? Why? Yes, that's bad.
Ask yourself that question, like, what was, bro? No. Okay, the reason why I asked is it's starting to see like it's a common thing that we don't know all Negro comics. Like we have to know where our origins come from. And even Tom Floyd, with his comic, with his comic issues that or company he had, I think it's Black Man Productions or something like that. Tom Floyd. I go look up Tom Floyd. Black comic book creator. He had like Jumpman. He had John Henry. He had his own John Henry. He had Black Man. He had he had a few comic book characters that he did. He drew and did everything himself. He the whole thing himself. And he had his own comic book. He had his own comic book company in the 70s. And so it was like, wow, like how come we always got to go digging for something? We always got to go digging for something. Just like this.
Yeah, we've had books since before the 70s. There was All Negro Comics, which was an entirely black thing. They only got like 2 issues out before they got shut down. But like that, if you want to, like, that's something that people don't know about. Like that's historic right there. Like an all black team, all black company
that's what they got
doing the books.
From. That's what they got. They
Oh yeah.
I would even say still too, because there were other renditions of John Henry, being a superhero, and like, so I kind of think a lot of plagiarism there. Even Bronze Tiger kind of looked like Lion Man, like so. Even Bronze Tiger outfit kind of like Lion Man.
If you go back to like the American folklore where John Henry comes from, I mean that story is portraying him as a superhero. He's a regular person who beat a machine. Like he's a superhero. He might have died in the end, but like yeah. So he's
they actually glorify.
Yeah, so like a lot of people use him because of that legend of John Henry. So like he's a very common character. I'm not surprised that so many companies have their own version of John Henry.
Because it's probably not nobody owns it. So it's just like
it's nobody owns it. It's like Paul Bunyan. Like nobody owns Paul Bunyan. Anybody can do a story with Paul Bunyan. Like.
Right.
But John Henry is one of those few stories where like it's a main black character who is the hero who steps up and does something in his folklore. So like it's embedded in American culture.
Right, for real. Because I remember watching that when I was a little kid. But I don't like, because to me that lead on a whole other record over, because I really feel like Marvel plagiarized a lot off of African and black culture. Like even with the creation of Spider-Man, I would say that that's plagiarism off of Nazi the Spider, because there are a lot of folklore and tales of Nazi.
Anansi, yeah, you can go back to Anansi if you want to. I mean, that's an African folklore is baked into it. So like, if you want to, you could easily say like, okay, we've got this story, about this spider god, and if you get further enough in reading Spider-Man, they start talking about spider gods and everything. So like, I mean,
right.
The thing about the thing,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the thing about comics is like everybody's taken from everybody. Like, DC's taken from Marvel, Marvel's taken from DC. They're pulling folklore and legends into it and everything. Like, that's one of the things about comics. Like Thor. Like Thor is Norse mythology. Nobody came up with Thor. They just borrowed that mythology and just adapted stuff to fit in with Marvel.
Yeah. All I got to change from being ginger to a blonde hair, though. That's another conversation for another day. But nah, like I definitely think Marvel was inspired off of a lot of black, just not just American like black culture, but well, they effed up with Brother Voodoo though, because Brother Voodoo is supposed to be Haitian.
Okay.
They effed up with Brother Voodoo, but we, like Gene Michael from New York was like, nah, I ain't let you slide on that, and they messed up with Brother Voodoo. Right. Okay. So let me see. What inspires you to want to have your own comic shop?
Actually, believe it or not, my wife. So I had a opportunity when I was getting ready to graduate from college to actually buy a comic shop, and the guy that I was trying to buy it from, he kind of disappeared and flaked on the deal. And my wife, my fiance at the time turned and was like, "Well, why don't you just open your own shop?" I was like, "Man, I never thought about that." So it took a couple of years, but it happened. So yeah, purely my wife. My wife is the reason that I'm actually here doing this right now.
No life. No life. Nerds get married.
Yeah.
You hear that, people? Nerds get married. Okay.
Yeah, she supported me. Like she was with me every step of the way.
Beautiful boy. Beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Oh my God. It's beautiful, man. It's great. It's great. That's just wonderful. I love it. I love nerd love. It's great, dude. It's great. It's great. Okay. All right, man. That's awesome, man. How long have you guys been open?
It'll actually be 4 years in October. So
Okay.
we're coming up on the 4 year anniversary pretty soon.
Nice, man. Nice, man. Congrats. Well, when were you studying in college, man?
I was in college for I did public relations, marketing, and e-marketing.
Okay.
I had to think about it. I had a double minor, so I had to think about what my double minor was. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, I just thought about going back for something like that, or to be a publisher, something like
Mm-hmm.
something along those lines. Like I thought
Okay,
about
yeah.
back going back. I'm an associate. I have two associates. I have one in biology and I have one in film. So I was like, let's go back. Let's go back to my world.
Yeah, I don't I don't knock anybody. I think people should if you want to get higher education, go for it. Like go for it. Learn everything you can learn so that you can use that to apply towards doing whatever it is you want to do. Because a lot of people don't pursue education any further, and then they don't know what they want to do with themselves, or they might have an idea, they don't know how to do it, and higher education will help you do that.
Right.
That helped me get my sword. Like that factor helped me in getting my sword.
Mm-hmm. Nah, man, because just learning things, man. Key, man. It's like it scares me how many people don't like to read. I'm like, dude, if you read, you wouldn't be here arguing with people. Like I don't argue with people. Like I don't argue with people. Like I'm going to tell you something, especially if I know it. I'm going to tell you something. Stop. I'm just gonna go back and forth.
Reading is fundamental. Like I never really quite got that growing up, but once I got into reading, I quickly realized what it is. Now I got a bookstore, and I realized that. Like,
wow,
the parents that come in, like I'm like, look, get them comics. They want comics, get them comics because guess what? It's getting them to read. And some of the kids. Well, there you go. And then sometimes it's a stepping stone. I've got a kid who his dad drug him into the store. Was like, you're getting comics, you're gonna read. The kid didn't want to. He picked out a couple of books. He loved them. Got a pull, so he started ordering these books every month. Now, based off of the book, he's getting into science. Everything he was getting like Hulk, Spider-Man. Like he was getting these books with these characters that are scientists. So it got him interested in science. So now he's pivoted to where he wants to do engineering and study science. So like that came from him starting to read comics. So let your kids read. If they want to read comics, let them read comics.
Cause you want to know, like, I second that. One of the things I just try to preach to people on Facebook and on Clubhouse. It's this idea I get to talk to a lot of people. I just try to talk to the parents and tell them like, hey man, if you can get your kids off the tablets for like 2 seconds, and get them to read, it's important. And they're like the significance that there are so many Black comics coming out. They're a lot. There are a lot more than not that are coming out, and you can see yourself in the comics. We don't have to rely on Marvel or DC, because it seems like the only time they do that is when it's like they need to fit an agenda or a quota. And I'm like, I'm not with that. Like either you support me or you don't support me. Like bro, like for the last like 7 years, all I seen was white superheroes, and then we get one Black superhero, and then all the controversy with the Black Panther. And I was like, damn, bro, like I just want to see a movie with one of my favorite comic book characters, and now it's turning into more than that. Like I don't know if I want to support it or not, but
That's a whole can of worms, like right there. Yeah, that's a whole can of worms, because then you're getting into, representation and if it's being done properly, and then you got to get into like, what companies, because every company handles that differently, and there are differences between how the majors handle representation as opposed to like an indie creator or a smaller publishing company. Like there are huge differences with that. So that's a whole can of worms right there.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, like even if you like Lovecraft Country, like I read the book, like a lot of stuff that happened in the book didn't happen in the TV show. They just make that up. Like so, like I'm one of those book nerds. Like nobody cares about the book nerds and how we feel. Like, oh, shut up, nobody cares. Nobody gonna read all 9 of those books. Oh, shut up. I watch the movie. Like, not a real fan. Anyway,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Really, you can't sit with us. You can't sit here with the nerds. Like, no, like, okay, you somewhat like that. I commend you for somewhat being nerdy, but you can't sit with the gang. You can't sit with at a table. Shoot. No. Okay. So yeah. So anyway, no, I mean that is awesome, man. Cause like I said, like I just try to encourage like black parents to like support black nerds and just
yeah.
There's a lot of significant things that like the black nerd community are doing, and as much as anime is cool, but I'm like, bro, reading is imperative, like it's important. So reading, you get kids reading and where it becomes just like a natural thing, and that's beneficial for them in the intellectual space, as they get older, because it just scares me that the average black man don't like to read. By the time he hit 15,
that's the same.
15, yeah, by the time he hit 15 and up, depending on if you go to college or not, man, you're not reading, and that's not a good thing. Gotta read, gotta learn, man. Real. Okay. So back to these comics. Have you ever tried to start your own comic? Like you ever tried to be like a character too? No? Yes?
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
Have you ever tried to do your own like comic book character?
Yeah. So I mean, for sure, I think most people do when they're in the comics. So like I used to try to draw characters growing up. I've actually got a story I've been working on for years that I'm hoping to one day actually get turned into a comic. So yeah, I think that's imagination. That's one of the things that comics brings. When you start reading comics and reading books, it opens up your imagination, and then you start going like, well, maybe I could write something, or maybe I could come up with a character. You come up with your own stuff, your own stories. So I think that is something that everybody does. So yeah, I've definitely done that.
You care to share with us?
Not necessarily. Don't want to let too much out the bag. Okay. But I've been working on it's an epic, so it's something that's like because I'm influenced from anime also. So like my project is broken up in the different sagas. If you watch anime, you know about sagas. So it's one overall story that's broken up into different segments and different sagas. Definitive beginning, definitive ending. It's a little science fiction. It's a little superhero story. It's a little bit of like traditional, like almost, I don't want to say shonen, but a traditional like manga. So it's a little mix of everything. Like it's a mix of everything. And it deals with slightly younger characters. So yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. All right. Let me see here. Do you do like any events or anything? Like I know some comic shops where they have like different things. Like I think somebody was telling me they do like a Valentine's Day ball or something like that. Like that they have, and some people sponsor like food runs and things like that on Thanksgiving. They give out to the homeless, or they're cooking, they'll do stuff. Now, I'm not holding everybody to the same thing. I'm just
No. Everybody does something different. And there are different things that we do. Some things we do every year. Some things we rotate out different years. So every store does free comic book day normally. We do. That's like a national comic book holiday where every store basically gives out free books. So the Free Comic Day, there's Halloween Comic Fest. Me and my wife were married by Stan Lee, so we actually have a Stan Lee Day in the store where we do like a Marvel event type thing. Of course, store anniversaries. We've done food drives before. We've partnered with different people to do things like that. So it kind of really depends. You know, normally during the summer, we normally try to do a summer reading program for the kids. So there's always some kind of game or event. If they read X amount of books, they can get free books, or they can get, free dollar books or discounts in the store. So it just kind of all depends. Like we don't have too many things that are like nailed down. We do this every single year, but we've got a bunch of different stuff that we do.
Okay, cool. All right. I don't know because I know because it's kind of different for you, but like if you ever had the chance to check out or just a fun fact like to set up what I'm about to say. Did you know that there are at least 12 different Black-owned comic companies that projects been picked up by a movie or TV show? Did you know that?
Yeah. So there's actually a creator in Columbus who is a independent creator. He's got his own thing. He's been picked up to have some of his stuff optioned as either movies or TV shows.
We don't use words like auction. That's a safety word, man.
They got to have their safety words. They got to have it. I think he's got one project that definitely is going to be going into some kind of production. And then the rest of his portfolio. His name is Victor Dandridge. If you give me a second. Victor Dandridge, Dandridge. If anybody was on the, I was gonna say if anybody was doing like the Wizard World comic circuit, like he used to actually work with Wizard, and he used to do like a bunch of the panels and stuff there. He calls himself the hardest working man in comics because this guy is a very hard worker. He's got a few different books. He's got a series called You Create. That's letter U, CRE, and then the number 8. It actually teaches kids how to make comics. So it essentially teaches you all the ins and outs, like don't make your character too strong, don't do this, limit how many powers you give them. And then they actually have like panel layouts that they can do. But yeah, he's a friend of the store, and he's one of those creators that you're talking about that's actually getting stuff. Yep, that is him. And he's one of those creators that's going to be doing some pretty big things here pretty soon.
I want to talk to this person. I will interview him. We will talk.
Yeah, interview him. He's awesome, dude. He's awesome.
Guy looks amazing. Holy shit, kebab. Yeah. Okay. Samaritan. I've seen that. Okay. Cool. Yeah, Victor. Okay. I'll talk to Victor. That's what's up, man. He put me on new people, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. If there was any character from Marvel, DC, or Dark Horse Image that you could write, if you had the opportunity, I don't know if you draw too, but if you could write them, who would that person be?
Okay, so I'm about to cheat here just a little bit. I don't think I would want to write just one character because I'm a huge X-Men fan. Like I love the X-Men. Like that's what solidified me in loving comics. Like that first book got me in the door, but the X-Men is what was like, oh no, I love this. I need to read all of this stuff. So I would want to write an X-Men book. That's what I would want to do. I'm reading the stuff they're doing right now. I love all the characters. Most of my favorite characters are X-Men characters. So that's why it would be hard because, I could say Magneto, I could say Wolverine, I could say Kitty Pryde, I could say Nightcrawler, Colossus. Like there's all I could go down the list and just start naming characters. But when you think about it, they're X-Men. So like it'd be better just to write an X-Men book. That would be the best thing.
Right. Because you could it's kind of hard to just do a solo story about like if you did a Nightcrawler story, he's gonna eventually bump into another.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's like,
and then you're tempted to just have it be a team up at that point. And then if you're gonna do that, it should have just been an X-Men book.
Exactly. So it's like
yeah.
That's what I like about the X-Men, how they all kind of connect together. But yeah, man, like just I think that what Marvel's getting ready to do, the MCU ain't gonna.
Hmm.
I think what Marvel's getting ready to do as far as the MCU, I think we're moving away from the Holocaust and going more towards Jim Crow because that's what I think the X-Men was based off of anyway. Like they like back in like the 60s, they couldn't put black faces on. They couldn't put all those characters in black, like to be black because I talked about that in my
Nah,
documentary. They wouldn't support it. They wouldn't support it. And so now
nah.
with that
So
kind of I'm listening. No,
see that's why. Well, I was gonna say that's why I love the X-Men is because literally, like you said, at that time they came out, they couldn't do a book with all characters, but we could do an allegory. You know,
right.
we can't really talk about civil rights, but let's do this thing with these people who are
Touch
mutants,
on
who
the
are
basics.
different, who are born that way, and we're still use all the same stuff that they're doing in the civil rights movement, but we're just we're calling it something slightly different. That's why I
Right.
like the X-Men so much. And then when you get to
Right.
the modern X-Men or the new team, you have this diverse team. Like the X-Men team that most people think of, they have like Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, and all them. When you really look at that roster, that was an international team. That was something they
Right.
couldn't have did in comics before. You had somebody from Africa, you had somebody from Ireland, you had somebody from Canada, you had a Native American on the team.
Right.
You had a Russian and a German on the team. Like there's that stuff you couldn't have did before. So that's kind of why I like the X-Men, because like not just what they represent, but also like they've broken a lot of ground.
Right. That's like the third team. That's not like the first team with the X-Men got
No, that was the second team. The first team got captured.
Yeah, and it had to go get them. Second team had to go
You
get
had to
them.
go get them. Yeah, that was the second team. The second team was the one that had Wolverine, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawlers, Sunspot, like all of them. That was that was the second team. One of the second team members did get killed. Like he died like on the second mission.
He sucked. Who cares? Nobody cares. Yeah, you suck. Yeah, I'm supporting losers. You're losing. Freaking loser. I'm supporting losers. Okay. Now that's what's up though. For me, I would probably write Bronze Tiger and Vixen.
Okay, those are two dope characters too. Those are two characters I would normally say are completely slept on, but every so often they pull them out and do something, and people are like, "Those are two good characters." It's like those are really two good characters. So I can respect it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My best friend's feeding breakfast.
That's a best friend. Yeah. Hey, if you got a friend that feeds you breakfast,
walking like a win over this.
Yeah, if you got a friend that feeds you breakfast, that's a great friend.
Right. Listen, dang it. Now we are almost out of time. Do you have any shout outs? Anybody want to shout out?
Well, since we already mentioned him, Victor Dandridge, of course, I want to shout out my wife for being awesome and amazing. All of my customers who come in every day or every week, all the comic book readers all around the world, because they're the ones that keep everything going. Publishers, writers, like everybody, sometimes they do crazy bad stuff. Sometimes they do amazing, awesome stuff. New creators, young Black creators, like young Black companies, like all those. If you have anything to do with geek culture or Black geek culture, a shout out to you.
Nerd game. Baby.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Right. Yeah, what's about the action? I lost my train of thought. I lost it. I lost my train of thought. It's a shame. Shame. Oh no. I would recommend you go on Peak Game Comics, and I'll send that to you.
Okay.
It's a website where like they allow like Black comic book creators to like come in and put their comic.
Okay.
What they allow like Black comic book creators to come and put their comic on the website, and it's a Black-owned website, but it's called Peak Game Comics. I'll send that to you because that's why I liked about a lot of stuff. Yeah, man. Because like, dude, I just representation is important, and you just think about like psychological evaluations, and all you see is white, and you don't look like that, that's not healthy. And I appreciate Marvel for, kind of starting to, give everybody something to appreciate. And it's just like I appreciate being in the era that we in, diverse, better, representation of what it was before. And so it's something nice to see. It's finally
We're
kind of
getting
seeing
there.
a change. Yeah,
We're getting there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Back, give us some lungs. Give us some lungs. You bomb, man, dude, bro. This is freaking awful. No, I want to do I'm trying to think. You said wizard, the wizard. That's an audio too, right? You said something earlier.
Well, we used to have Wizard World. I know they just sold off their Columbus show. I don't know if they're still doing like the Cleveland show they used to do. But most people know Wizard. They do conventions all over the country. But Victor used to be one of the moderators up there. Like he would do Artist Alley, and then he would do a lot of the panels and interviews for people.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, listen, y'all, we're all out of time. And we got my man Al in the building. You college is amazing, man. Dude, shouts out Columbus, Ohio, bro. Shouts out to you, brother. Shouts out to White, man. Shouts out to the Nerd Geek Gang, bro. We all here, bro. We all one big family, bro. Look, I gotta come give you a shot, man. I'm at the club there, come give you a shot, man. I got to get that look in Ohio, bro. Well, listen, it's been real, brother. Thank you so much for your time. And please continue
No problem.
Continue to strive and be that amazing person that you are, my brother. Okay? All right. Yeah, we're out of time. We're out, man. Take my up and check our next interview. All right, man. We're out. Peace. All right, Alan.
All right.